In our first story, members of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, have closed their shops until Monday, October 24, in protest of the high cost of doing business in recent times. They also insist that the continuous plummeting of the Ghanaian cedi on the forex market and the high inflation rate have eroded their capital and exacerbated their plight. GUTA wants this action to be a pinch on the government to urgently address their concerns. The shop closure come against pleas by members of the Council of State on Tuesday, October 18, for the traders to rescind their decision. My colleague Bernice Abubedulansa was at Accra Central to gauge the impact and came through with this.
We are continuing our conversation about the shutdown of shops by members of GUTA and the impact it's having on traders and those who come here to do business. Let me speak to this gentleman over here. Good morning, sir. Please, what's your name?
Emmanuel Tego.
Emmanuel, what do you sell here?
I sell dryers and salon equipment.
So are these locally manufactured or imported?
Imported.
Tell us your concerns about the economic situation in the country.
Yeah, the problem we are facing now is the dollar. That's why all the prices have shoot up, going up. Because every day when the dollar change, the price change, we change the prices and everything. The suppliers call us and change the prices. So every day you're supposed to increase the price of the goods. So when maybe somebody, a customer came and you give him the price today, tomorrow when the price of now the dollar is almost 13 cedi, so we can sell.
How long have you been doing this business, and have you come across any situation like this before?
Oh, I started this business almost getting to 20-30 years. We haven't faced this type of economy before, because even last 4 or 5 years the dollar was almost getting to 4 something, but now we don't understand. Even we expect the government to come in, even tell us something or do something about it. But we haven't heard from the government in the body from now.
When you say you want to
everybody do what it's like to do
on the market, so there's no control.
There's no control on the market.
When you say you wanted to hear from the government, what exactly do you want to hear, and who exactly do you want to hear from?
He's the owner of the. Let me say, he's the president of the country, so he's supposed to tell us, oh, have patience, do this, I will do something for you. That's something we want to hear from the government. But without anything, no, everybody can do what it's like. That is the problem we are facing now. So it's like there's no control. If another person wake up, you just increase the price.
So there are other trade unions that say, look, things are hard, times are hard. When you close the shops, you are worsening your situation. How much do you earn on a regular day as profit? And what would you lose from the closure?
Association, we are under GUTA. So when the GUTA presidency, we have to follow, because we will register for the GUTA. The other association, they are other part of they are.
But what do you think about what they're saying? Right now your shop is closed, you're not making any money, you're not making any profit. For 5 days, won't that affect you?
Shop, there's no market. We come and sit down from early in the morning to evening. There's no market. So it's like you can face the problem unless the problem solved. That's why we are here.
Let me find out from... Hello. Hi. Are you here to buy anything? Are you here for business? Okay. I'm trying to find some people who came here to shop. Hello, good morning. Are you here to shop? Okay. Well, it appears that the announcement has gone down well to the customer.
My colleague Selma Kojo-Brace also visited Ghana's largest automobile spare parts dealers market, Abosokai, and filed this report.
So I'm here in Abosokai. If you look right behind me, that stretch, about 500 meters from here, we've been walking from that point to this place. I mean, all the stores on that lane have been closed. None of them has been opened. A look ahead of me still indicates that meters ahead of me, and all the stores have been closed. None has been. So, question is, but again, we see a lot of people here. Many of the workers, many of the traders here are here. But for them to open the stores, that is a big no. Let's try and engage some of them to really understand what is happening. Chief, grateful that you've agreed to speak to us. You've shut your stores, but you are here. What's happening?
It's about the dollar. The dollar is going up too much. Perhaps by the end of this year, it will go about 20 per $1, which is too much. We cannot trade. We cannot buy our stuff. When we go and import, it's very high. The money is too high. The money is too high. So the government should do something about it. That's why we're closing our shop today.
Is it only about $1 or there's something else?
Oh, taxes are too much too.
Okay.
When you import to Ghana, the taxes are too much. They should do something about it.
Okay. Now, you've closed your stores, but you are here. Why are you here?
Oh, we are here to protect our shop and supervise our business, our stores too. Sometimes the government can bring out any solution to our problem. So we want solution to our problem.
You are coming back on Monday. Is that it?
We don't know. Actually, we don't know. We don't know.
Your leadership says open on Monday.
Okay, fine. If they say we should open on Monday, fine. We will come on Monday. But we want solution to the dollar. That's our problem.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Let's try and engage more people here. Well, Chief.
Yes.
So you are also here. The issue is about $1. Fact is, government says I'm working on it. Why close that?
I think it's a good exercise that we are taking. I think the dollar is rising too much, and it is, affecting the cost of doing business, because right now the dollar is almost about 13 cedis. So that means that the quantum of the money that you used to buy some, let's say 3 months ago, if you have to change into the dollar and go and buy again, definitely it will come down. So it has made business really difficult. Just as my brother said, I think the government should, step its foot on the ground, especially trading, like let's say hotels, schools that are charging dollars. No, I think they are all the cost, yes. And then Baumia too. I think about around 5 years ago, 4 years ago, he said he has arrested the dollar and given it to IGP. Now we don't know where the dollar is, whether it has flown away or it has. And he's the head of the economic management team. I think it's terrible. It's terrible.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Let's try and hear from more people here. Chief, I'm told you have to reopen on Monday. Is that going to happen?
I don't know, unless we find out from our elders or people. Because the problem we have with this issue is that I don't think this is going to have any impact on this demonstration. It's going to have any impact. Because the only thing we have to do is, if the more the dollar keep on rising, we have to also increase our goods to meet up with the dollar. But if, for example, this demonstration ends and the dollar still keep on going up, what we've done is useless. You understand?
Away from that, this morning, officials of the Greater Accra Regional Security Council and the Lands Ministry have started demolishing structures on waterways at the Sakumona Ramsar site. The move is to help avert any possible flooding situation similar to what happened in Waja and surrounding areas a few weeks ago. The 1,200 acres of the Sakumona Ramsar site hold thousands of gallons of water each year to prevent flooding in the surrounding communities. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Kote, who is leading the exercise, says no influence can stop the demolition of structures on the Sakumona Ramsar site. He's leading men from the armed forces, police and the immigration service to ensure all fence walls sited within the core areas of the site are pulled down. According to him, that will be the phase 1 of the exercise, while the phase 2 and 3 will see the pulling down of buildings within the transition and buffer zones. Here is Henry Kote.
The agency and the lands, forestry, will now identify buildings that are still sited in the waterway, and then they are marked, and then the next phase will continue. So we shall continue with the exercise by the grace of God to remove fence walls in the waterway. Now, why do we want to do this? When it rains, the water falls all the way from Sebidi sun finds its way through Onyasia, Jowulu, then that's where I suffer when it rains, Alaju. You all know what happens in Alaju. Even with the current scheme of Alaju, when it rains, there's a problem. Imagine what will happen here, and it started already. When it rains, those of you who have been plying the motorway, you notice that the Sakumono, the Ashaman Bridge area is gradually becoming flooded. If we don't deal with this issue in the next 2-3 years, I'm afraid that all this area that will stand will be flooded. So we are hoping that residents in this area will cooperate with us. The Minister of Lands and his team are also putting in place measures to ensure that those who have already encroached upon the land will go through proper processes to ensure that their properties are regularized. I do not have the locus, but the minister will speak to that issue.
So we're trying to reach my colleague with my sister station Adom FM, Annabella, who will give us more updates on how the residents feel and what is happening as we speak. And we know that this is just the phase 1 of the exercise. So let's go to Annabella, who joins me with updates. Bella, can you tell us what is happening as we speak?
Okay, so as we are speaking, the exercise is still ongoing. The exercise began this morning around 7:30 a.m. with about 600 uniformed men. That's the military, police, and the immigration. The exercise, according to Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte, is aimed at rescuing the Ramsey site of about over 3,000 acres from encroachers, of which about 2,500 acres have been encroached upon. However, the exercise, according to the minister, is not to victimize anybody, but is to demolish fence walls that have been erected in waterways at the Ramsey site. After today, tomorrow, and then day 3 of the pulling down of the fence walls, another assessment will be made to identify buildings on waterways at the same place where they will be marked for another phase of demolition. These are all, according to the minister, being done to prevent floods in the area in some years to come.
Annabella, are the owners of the structures around, and how have they been reacting? What are they saying?
Surprisingly, we've not seen anyone occupying any of the buildings that is being targeted. There's nobody occupying any of the buildings.
Okay.
And at the moment, fence walls are what they are in waterways are what they are demolishing.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That is Annabella Ave, who is with our sister station, Adom FM, giving us an update on that exercise that the Greater Accra Regional Minister is doing. And we know that this is just phase 1, and phase 2 and 3 will see some structures being bulldozed. Now let's do some other stories, because some of President Akufo-Addo's nominees to the Supreme Court are fighting off accusations that the judiciary is corrupt and is not trusted by the public to deliver true justice. Taking their turn before Parliament's Appointment Committee, Justices Barbara Akayensu and George Kingsley Kumson affirmed the impartiality and credibility of the judiciary. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante has more in this report.
President Akufo-Addo has appointed 11 judges to the Supreme Court since he assumed office in 2017. He has nominated 4 new judges to go on to the Supreme Court, giving him 15 appointments to the highest court. That will be the highest number of appointments that has ever been made. Indeed, the first 2 judges of the Supreme Court, the nominees who have appeared before the Appointment Committee, have been subjected to questions from members regarding the independence and neutrality of judges. According to Justice Kingsley Kumson and Justice Barbara Akayensu, who appeared before the committee today, the judiciary's independence is still intact, despite some concerns from the public.
I will assure you that the independence of the judiciary is rare. Yes, there are occasions where some persons may be compromised, for which nobody can deny. We have had situations in this country where judges have been dismissed for such behavior. But I can say on authority that the judiciary is independent unless the contrary is proved.
I am aware of some loss in trust and confidence, but from where I am sitting as a judicial officer, I can confidently say that it is not true, with all due respect, that generally the population is losing trust, because the number of cases are increasing day by day.
Justice Barbara Kayensu also said she disagreed with assertions that the Supreme Court has been packed. Indeed, it was the suggestion of the minority leader Haruna Idrisu that Akufo-Addo has appointed so many judges which amounted to packing the courts.
President Mills contributed about 21.4% to appointments to the Supreme Court. Excellency John Dramani Mahama, 28.6%. Nana Addo Dankwa, 78.6%, from 11 to 14 Supreme Court judges. Whether he's mindful of the public purse and whether he's mindful he's protecting the public purse with these numbers is a matter that we all should be looking at. Here alone, 11 or 14 justices of Supreme Court. It has not happened.
But Justice Barbara Akayensu, who is currently a justice of the Court of Appeal, said she did not agree with those assertions.
I think that is a misconception. For a start, it is not a fact that there are going to be 18 members of the Supreme Court should you graciously confirm my appointment, my nomination. As a matter of practice, generally speaking, nominations to the Supreme Court are made when there are vacancies. When some of the Supreme Court judges are going on retirement, and as we are speaking here, a number of them have gone on retirement, thus creating vacancies, and hence my nomination.
On Wednesday, the other two nominees will take their turn before the appointment committee. It is expected that Justice Kwame Adibu Esiedu, Justice Ernest Yaugeu will also take their turn and answer questions as to their suitability to be on the highest court of the land. For JoyNews, Kuku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Poor parental control and poverty have been identified as key factors accounting for Ghana's increasing cases of teenage pregnancy and child marriage. The challenges are impeding the ability of the girl child to attain her full potential, largely in formal education. Now, to end the problem, government introduced a 5-year strategic plan to retain the girl child in school with or without pregnancy. The journey has, however, not been easy for girls in such situations. In the second part of a JoyNews latest hotline documentary dubbed Girls' School Pregnancy, we'll hear stories of some of these adolescents and actors in the education space on interventions being deployed to make life easy in school
Adolescent girls may suffer from limited opportunities for education, skills development, and employment, as well as lack of access to information on issues affecting their lives. Some adolescent girls are at greater risk of mental health issues due to their living conditions, stigma, discrimination.
The girls should move to this side.
A common feature associated with teenage pregnancy in Avedakpa, for instance, is cohabitation. A fair number of the girls who are pregnant or adolescent mothers are cohabiting with their partners against the will of their parents. Dorcas's mother stated that her daughter had recently left home to live with Onassis. She's tried everything to persuade her to return home, but she's been unsuccessful.
Dorcas Avigne, Anya David Bonas, Nuida, Abunama, Awanang Shanwa Fama, Abona, Varo Garama Koiko, Vajagla, Amawaka Jilawa, the Shia. Intati the shia de ka vino awa kura vin atokpo po clavia mawevu avinya rokova gba potokpo ti rokova vulanchi.
Teachers we need young girls maybe one, but yes we need.
Growing, your hormones will start developing, and at a certain stage you have feelings, okay, and you will be attracted to the opposite sex. It is normal feeling. If you don't have that feeling, it means you are not a human being. That feeling will come, but when that feeling comes, it doesn't mean go and have sex. Do you understand me? Animals also have the same feeling. And they are not human beings. So they don't have the self-control that you and I will have. And so at this stage, if you do not control your feeling, it may end you in trouble. Now, when it comes to sex, there is also a law or laws concerning sex. So as a young person, you must know that although your body belongs to you, when and how you have sex is regulated by law.
The director of the Volta Regional Department of Gender, Daiwilpe, in partnership with the Girl Child Education Unit of the GES, are holding mentoring sessions for teenagers at the Avedakpa DAGHS. This program is put together with girls like Dorcas and her mates in mind. Dorcas goes to school here. Today, however, she's absent from among her mates because she's at the market assisting her mother in making ends meet. She's undoubtedly missing out on all this informative and constructive session. The same is true of regular school hours. While her colleagues are in class, she's preoccupied with wifely and motherly responsibilities. By the time she's through with all of that, the day is past and there'll be no school.
Second part of the documentary is 8:30 p.m. on this channel on Monday, 31st October 2022. So make sure you join us. Now, the first quarter-final contest of the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz is underway at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Ganata SHS is facing competition from Secretary and Abetefie Presby SHTS will be going live to the KUST. But before that, the quiz mistress, Professor Alcy Efa Kaufman, revealed as the contestants are studying overnight, the competitiveness of the stage does not allow her to get regular hours of sleep.
So every year, quarterfinals onwards, it's something else. It's a whole new level. The reason being we enter the money zone. So every point is worth something to someone. So you see more intensity. Of course, some of the weaker schools are also gone. So every school is here to win. So a lot of intensity, that's what I'm expecting. Every point will be challenged. So I have to make sure all my questions are in top form. Yes, yes. So expectations, that's basically what it is.
So even for you, as the contestants are getting ready in their rooms, sleepless nights, you also have a bit of sleepless night because you have to get ready for the quiz.
Yes, a lot of sleepless nights. During this period, I don't sleep much. Yes, yes. When you have a contest that is problem-free, meaning all the questions have no issues with them, you have to wonder how that happens. Somebody is checking every single question multiple times. We always do the very best that we can as a consulting team, but sometimes we do miss certain things. We are human after all. But
that first contest is actually over, and if we check the scoreboard, Presby SHS Betefie scored 51 points, and they are the first semi-finalists of the National Science and Maths Quiz, and Oseke came in at 50 points, and we also have Ganata SHS with 36 points. You do want to stay on this channel, on DSTV channel 41 and go to channel 144 for comprehensive coverage of the NSMQ 2022 quarter-final stage. Do join the conversation on Twitter. The hashtag to follow is hashtag NSMQ on Joy. You're still watching JoyNews today. I'm Mapitso Sebidi. Up next is business. And in business, players within the insurance space are calling for some legislation to cover domestic insurance policies to cushion Ghanaians against unforeseen circumstances. According to General Manager for Finance at the State Insurance Company, Kenneth Akolache, this will aid in increasing insurance coverage. Speaking to Joy Business at the Ghana Accountancy and Finance Awards, he said the legislation should be very strict.
Insurance is a key player in the financial space of the country. Insurance still remains relatively low. According to Kenneth Akolache, regulatory authorities should strengthen, stabilize and streamline legislation to enhance the sector's capacity.
Motor, we are a bit covered. Now we need to have a lot of legislation in the other aspects of our personal, what is that one called? Domestic fire policies for house, homes and all with the flood, fires here and there. Yes, if there is legislation in that respect, because sometimes anytime there's a flood, we're calling for government support. But if you have insurance legislation that every residential property should have some insurances at hand, it is to help to also improve the penetration and to make it easy for people to enjoy the benefits of insurance. Well, it's not been easy, but without insurance too, a lot of things will come to a standstill where if there is a loss you are experiencing it because of the various products that we bring onto the market.
Head of Financial Planning and Analysis at Bayport Savings and Loans Company, Kweku Ofosu, speaking on the microfinance sector, bemoaned the high cost of funds affecting the sector.
The cost of funds. The cost of funds is the biggest challenge. We all have seen where inflation is sitting. We all know where Treasury bills is operating at the moment. If everybody is coming to deposit with you, they want the kind of rates they are looking for. So yes, I mean the cost of funding is really our biggest challenge. It's a challenge, to be honest. We have seen our cost of funds go up because of where GR rates is sitting at the moment. But yes, so we are trying to run our business to see how best we can serve our clients under the circumstances. But yes, it won't be correct for me to say that it's not a challenge. It's a challenge.
Most financial sector players are calling on the government to work assiduously in stabilizing the Ghanaian economy.
Niche Confectionery Ghana Limited, a cocoa processing company, says it will continue to anchor the various initiatives to support various cocoa communities in Ghana. According to Managing Director Gladys Amoah, the company is poised to give back to communities in a way to appreciate the efforts of cocoa farmers. She spoke to Joy Business at a program to donate some niche products in the eastern region.
According to Niche Confectionery Ghana Limited, investing in cocoa growing communities is a way to sustain their operations. Managing Director for the company, Gladys Amoah, stated that more investment will be done to support the farmers within the catchment area.
I think in our world we call it thanking the farmers for the work that they do, because without them we don't have a business. Without the communities we don't have a business. And if we don't support them and their families, who knows if we will have to go in the next 20 to 30 years. So it's a very important part. So, sometimes CSR initiatives are viewed as something you do just so that, you can say you're doing something good. But for us, it is core to the survival of our business.
Yeah. Headmistress for the Apopuano Basic School, Martha Ejewa, called for more corporate institutions to support the school.
This program is going to make a lot of impact in the school. And as a matter of fact, the most aspect of this that I want is going to increase our enrollment. As at now, we are 160. And that children love where food are shared. This is very nutritious drink, which is going to enlarge their academic lives and give them good health. Some of them lack normal 3 square meal. So this one is going to make an impact in their life. We are very grateful.
That's it for business. Up next is sports.
Let's do sports now. On JoyNews today with me, Muftau Nabila Ablai, a former management committee member of the Black Stars, Fred Papo, says that the performances witnessed by Ghanaians in this year's African Cup of Nations is due to what he described as lack of luck on the side of the team. And he says that the performances was a blessing in disguise, as it gave the Ghana Football Association the opportunity to learn, and that influenced the new technical team assembled for this year's World Cup.
In football, there are so many things that happen in football. So absolutely many things that happen. There are times when you can just be unlucky. Let's face it. Let's look at the AFCON 2021 matches very well, closely. Our first game was against
Morocco.
Was it Morocco?
Morocco. We lost 1-0.
We lost 1-0. Just look at the circumstances under which we considered our goal. Morocco were not really on top of us. Just cast your mind back closely.
So the AFCON we are not lucky.
I think we were generally not lucky in the AFCON.
But we had a very good technical team.
I didn't have a problem with the technical team. I think we were just not lucky. If you look at the Morocco game, the goal we conceded. Look at the game against Gabon. The goal we conceded, a throw-in that our player had kicked the ball out of fair play, expecting a reciprocal return, and quickly they decided to do otherwise before we realized it was a goal. what time could our boys use to respond? That was the equalizer. Against Comoros. That was our last key match. Within 5 or 7 minutes, our captain and lead person had been shown the red card. So we literally had to struggle with 10 persons. So in such a crucial game, even then, we came back from 2 goals down. Unfortunately, they scored the 3rd goal. So there are some things that happen in football which we just have to take like that. Mind you, in 2006, AFCON, it was our worst performance before this one.
Yes.
What will you say to that? The interesting thing is to learn your lessons, very dispassionate lessons. You don't go looking for lessons in an emotional manner.
Yes.
That is the one thing you must always guard against. If you do that, you will come up with the wrong solutions for the future. The problems will escape you. I think what happened it was a blessing in disguise in Cameroon, and maybe a lot of lessons have been learned.
Did you just describe a blessing in disguise? How?
It was. There were interesting lessons that we learned from there, which I believe are being corrected. Look at the size of the Tenka team now. There are I think there are some personnel on board who were not there before. A whole lot of other different arrangements have been made. Lessons that were learned in Cameroon, which are being used to develop the team.
Chairman of House of Oak National Chapter Committee, Herman Hesse, has denied allegations of instigating fund violence against club board members Vincent Soa-Odote and Alhaji Akambi. Speaking on Sports Today Tuesday, Hesse said he was invited by the police to assist the investigations, but he's not guilty of the act he's been accused of.
To refute that claim that I was behind that act at the stadium. I am not a violent person, and I would never encourage my supporters to be violent. Let me also apologize to the sporting fraternity and condemn in no uncertain terms the behavior of the supporters who damaged the vehicle of Honorable Odote Soa or Mr. Odote Soa. That is my preliminary remarks. I was not part of any agenda to destroy property. I wish to state categorically that I had no idea that something of that sort was going to happen until the first half, during the recess, when everything started coming up. So if anybody feels that I instigated it, the police can handle it. They are very capable. They can investigate me. And if I am found culpable, I can be dealt with.
The police. There were some reports as well that suggested that you were arrested. Would like you to clarify that as well. You are an operative within the security services, and so normally we know that whenever there's an invitation or an arrest, it's done in a certain way. But we want you to confirm that for us. Was that what happened? Were you arrested? What exactly happened when it comes to your interaction with the police?
Okay, thank you very much, Nat. I think I've had a lot of calls, and I need to clarify this. I was not arrested. I was not picked up, as it is reported on social media and other networks. I am saying it again. I was never picked up by the police, as it was being speculated since yesterday till today. What happened was that yesterday around 2 p.m., we were preparing to have our press conference when I received a call from the police that there is a report against me by Mr. Odote Soa. So if I have time, I should come. In fact, I told the police that we have a press conference at 3 p.m. And so if they could allow us to finish the press conference, I will proceed to the station. The further told me that the commander would be going for a meeting and would want to meet me before she goes for that meeting. So I respectfully, as a law-abiding citizen.
This is how we wrap up sports here on JoyNews today with me, Muftau Nabila Abla. We do have more sports stories on my joyonline.com and also at 2 p.m. when we come your way with sports today. Up next, it's Showbiz.
Time now for latest updates in the world of entertainment. My name is KMJ. There has been growing concerns about which Ghanaian can fill the auditorium of the O2 Arena. Speaking on the issue, Shatawale places last bet on Black Sherif. That's what Shatawale has to say about filling the O2 Arena.
30K cities.
For 15 years, yeah, 30,000 cities for 15 years. See the way Blacko, they move 17s. If Blacko want to do show for London right now, where maybe Empire will contact maybe a Live Nation to do a show for him, 20,000 Black Sherif will sell their hands down. He can't tell us that no Ghanaian artist can sell O2. I can put my feet on and say Black Sherif can do that now, as we are there now. And me, I'll go perform. Black Sherif, they do show for that, I'll go perform. Make Dennis, he did it, he go to dance for the crowd. I go throw donuts.
And that's Shatawale over there speaking about who can fill the O2, placing his last bet on Black Sherif. Away from that, Shatawale has been lamenting on how much he's received from Gamro after 15 years of being in the entertainment industry. He speaks about a 30,000 Ghana cedis that has been given to him by Gamro.
30,000 for 15 years.
30K cities.
For 15 years, yeah, 30,000 cities for 15 years.
So for showbiz, this afternoon we move on to NSMQ, the competition guest Kina and Kina. We've got some updates for you on that.
And that's it for Joy News today. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. But you're still going to spend the next 2-3 hours with me because we're about to start our coverage of the second in series of quarterfinals of the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz. And it has been a very exciting competition so far. And the remaining last week promises to be even more exciting with more drama and more action. Earlier today, Betterfield Presby SHS picked up the first spot in the semi-finalist, place, and they got 51 points. And very soon we're going to the Kwame Nkrumah University Science of Technology for the build-up to the big contest. And that big contest, you don't want to miss it. I am about to give you the details very soon. And we also will be linking to Maxwell Akbakba, who will tell us how the auditorium is heating up, how people are preparing for that second contest, Tamil SHS, St. Herbert's Seminary SHS, and Mfansi Pim School. Right after this.